This is Gerardo Del Real with the Outsider Club. Joining me today is the CEO of K92 Mining, Mr. John Lewins. John, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
K92 has emerged as an anomaly in the space because it's not only an exciting production story, but it's also an exciting exploration story. I'd love to talk a bit about your background, and then I'd love to get right into what's emerged as the flagship, the Kora deposit.
Okay, well, background is 40 years in the industry. I've worked for the majors, worked for the juniors, very much in development of mines. So I've built half a dozen mines or more in various parts of the world, from Africa to Australia, to Mongolia, to Armenia. Gold, copper, base metals, platinum group metals. Worked in PNG in the past, so this is a second coming, if you like, to PNG, where the company has its primary asset.
Can we talk a bit about the team? I mentioned the fact that you're taking a two-pronged approach. One is exploration, and the second, of course, being the production story. You got to have a strong team in order to make both of those work. Can you tell me a bit about the team in place?
Okay, well, we've got a strong management team primarily out of Australia, focused, as you said, on production, but also on exploration. Production front, most of our management have in fact worked in PNG in the past. So they've got a lot of experience working in PNG, working in underground operations, something in excess, we worked out of 200 years of experience in PNG.
You're off to a good start.
Yeah, so that's an important aspect for us. Exploration-wise, big focus for us on the exploration are porphyries, and our VP exploration has extensive experience in porphyries, both in PNG, where he's been for more than 10 years, but also in some of the big porphyries in the world, like those in Mongolia.
Now, 2018 has been a transformational year for K92 Mining. You declared commercial production a few months back, and Kora has emerged as the flagship. Can we talk a bit about the exploration potential and why you're so excited about Kora and Kora North? And then can we talk a bit about the big milestone, which is, of course, declaring commercial production? Not too many juniors can boast that they did both in 1 year.
Right, well, focus for the company was always that Kora was the prize. The issue was obviously to develop out into there and to look for the extension of Kora closer to where the operations were at the time. So first thing that we did was put in what we now call a discovery hole, which went from existing workings about 200 meters and targeting where we saw the extension of Kora, the area we now call Kora North. And that came in 5.4 meters, 12 grams per ton gold, 25 grams per ton silver, 1.3% copper. So our model of how we saw Kora extending 500 meters further to the south than anything that, or further to the north than anything that happened before, was proven with one single hole. We drove out to it, we put in the crosscut, and within a couple of months we were taking our first bulk sample, 4,000 tons, from the K2 vein system. We put that through the plant, 92% recovery, 7 grams per ton, 1% copper is what the mine said they delivered to the plant, and that's what the plant said that they treated. So following on from that, we then immediately started doing more development within the Kora system, and also started developing the second Kora vein, K1, significantly higher grade than K2, averaged to date around 25 grams per ton over a 300 meter strike length. So we've got now Kora over 500 meters of strike length. We in June we came out with a resource on Kora, which was Kora North, which is 320,000 ounces measured and indicated, another 570,000 ounces of inferred, running at 15 grams per ton gold equivalent. So this is a very high grade deposit, and that Kora North is an extension of the known Kora deposit, which currently has a resource of about 1.65 million ounces inferred. So we've now got a resource which is sitting there with 2.5 million ounces at 14, 15 grams per ton. We're mining it As you said, at the end of January, we declared commercial production. Profitable quarter in the first quarter of this year, made money again in the second quarter of this year. So we are on target at this point in time to achieve the guidance that we've given, 42 to 46,000 ounces for the year, and cash costs well below $600 an ounce, and our all-in sustaining costs sitting around the 760 to 780. And that's while we're developing this deposit to be a major long-term deposit for the company.
Now, Kora may be just the tip of the iceberg. Can we talk a bit about the land package, which is largely untested, if I understand it correctly?
Yes, look, Kora is a high-grade vein system. Potential is there for 5 to 10 million ounces, and yet, as you rightly say, maybe that's only the tip of the iceberg. The land package around us, the primary focus of the people who previously held it, was in fact to look for large copper-gold porphyries. There were about a dozen targets within the 400 square kilometre package that we have. We've just started recently with our first drilling. 5 holes, 1,600 metres, just about completed. And we've got 2 further targets that we plan to do our initial drilling on in the next 3 to 6 months. And then from there, follow-up. We've got aerial geophysics to do and a whole lot of other work. But yeah, look, it's a really, really exciting land package with an incredible density of genuine, serious porphyry targets.
You mentioned commercial production. Exploration isn't cheap. Are you self-funding that exploration through the revenue that you're generating?
We're self-funding our exploration, and we are very much cutting our cloth to suit our budget, as it were. So, look, we could be drilling all 3 targets right now and fully justified, but there's a measured approach to what we do. At the same time, we're spending capital on developing the mine, developing it so that we can go to further expansions. We've just as I said, we've completed initial resource. We're now out to update that resource. Following on from that, we've got an updated preliminary economic assessment to be completed before the end of the year, and that's looking at an expansion from our current 50,000 ounces, 200,000 tonnes per annum, doubling the throughput, so 400,000 tonnes per annum, and with the grades that we're seeing at Kora North, taking us to somewhere between 110 and 150,000 ounces. So that PEA before the end of the year, and then a decision from the company as to whether to go ahead with that. And obviously things are looking very positive.
Excellent. And rigs are turning right now, correct?
Rigs are turning. We've got 2 rigs working underground, 3rd rig due in about a month's time, so we'll have 3 underground rigs. And then on the surface, we've got 1 rig. And really unusual, underground, in just 9 months, from 0 to 900,000 ounce resource at Kora North. Cost of discovery, less than $1 an ounce.
That's impressive. What's the market cap look like?
Market cap, we're sitting at around 110, 120 million US. Like many others, we obviously see ourselves as undervalued. And certainly we've got a lot of substantial long-term shareholders who can see where the company is going and see how they're going to realize value as shareholders in this company.
Excellent. Mr. Lewins, thank you so much for taking time today. I appreciate it. I know you're busy. It's a busy conference for you.
Very busy conference, but yeah, appreciated the chance to share something with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks again.